Welcome to Ladies Group Chat, where privacy spirals, fake wealth, and internet fame all collide. Imagine opening TikTok for a little scroll and finding yourself in the content or seeing somebody act rich online while financing the entire illusion with one-click payments and vibes. That's kind of the whole mood right now. Public life is too public, private life is somehow content, and everybody's acting like the algorithm isn't making it worse. One thing I really liked here is the idea that privacy isn't some pure all-or-nothing retreat to a cabin. People delete Instagram and still use TikTok, so clearly private means different things depending on the platform and the feeling. And that feeling changes fast when you're casually scrolling and suddenly there's a clip about you, or of you, or discussing your life like it's community property. That's not regular internet embarrassment, that's deeply jarring. TikTok especially feels like the app where the wall between observer and subject just evaporates. 1 minute you're bored, the next minute you're publicly perceived. Then add the algorithm doing psychic warfare, like feeding morbid pregnancy and parenting content to new mothers who absolutely do not need that energy. That isn't harmless personalization, that's anxiety with autoplay. Even the TV version of this is weird now. Reading someone's apology text out loud on air for mass consumption might be dramatic television, but consent and privacy do still exist allegedly. The hottest, messiest point in this whole batch is the claim that social media now gives people the attention, money, and validation they used to chase through more old-school social maneuvering. The joke was that Ted Bundy would have been a TikToker, which is obviously not saying posting cures violence, calm down, but it does capture something real about modern fame. The platforms reward charisma, performance, and relentless self-display at industrial speed. And the money part is where it gets especially cursed. Influencer culture plus Apple Pay plus targeted ads equals a fake rich economy where people are gifted things, borrowing things, flexing things, and making unaffordable lifestyles look normal. So now everybody's getting sold a luxury fantasy by people who may not actually own the fantasy. It's wealth cosplay with affiliate links. That same ambiguity also rewards toxic personalities. If you're magnetic, impulsive, shameless, or all three, virality can hit before accountability does. On influencer partnerships, the useful reality check is that Comped is not one clean category. A hotel might give a suite for exposure, but not the second room, not the holiday weekend, not the F1 dates, not every extra little thing. And if properties sit under different ownership umbrellas, the treatment can vary even when the branding makes it look seamless. So when influencers act like they get royal treatment everywhere, that's often a very edited version of the truth. Also, pretending something was gifted when it wasn't is such a self-own. Besides being an authenticity problem, it edges right into FTC disclosure territory, which is not cute just because the lighting was good. This was such a smart observation. Reunions are basically podcasts. It's people sitting there talking, arguing, revising history, denying things with scary confidence, and honestly, a lot of it works perfectly as audio. That's why people can consume reunions while driving, getting ready, folding laundry, whatever. Producers should absolutely treat that like a feature instead of pretending every reunion is visual art. The bigger reality TV tension is still fan power versus production control. Too much fan influence and storylines get hijacked by internet campaigns, too much production engineering, and you get painfully fake dates, forced pairings, and vibes that feel focus group to death. And then the audience flips. A relationship gets pushed as destiny. The truthers get mocked. And 6 weeks later, the truthers are collecting receipts like they won a civil rights case. Also, online visibility does not automatically equal real-world demand. We've seen nostalgia and reunion tours flame out commercially, even when the internet acted like everybody was obsessed. The best finance framing here is financial energy. You only have so much attention, discipline, and emotional bandwidth, so stop spending it on low-impact martyrdom. If you're reusing paper towels but you still haven't automated savings, paid down your highest interest debt, or opened a tax-advantaged investment account, your priorities are upside down. Automation is the star. Root a paycheck before you can get cute with it. Savings, debt, investing, bills. Make the system stronger than your mood. And I love the point about choosing financial tools you actually enjoy using. If the app is ugly, clunky, or annoying, you're less likely to engage. Adult life is hard enough. Let the high-yield account have a pretty interface. The economic backdrop matters. If cost of living rose about 67% from 2000 to 2024, while wages rose around 7%, of course people feel trapped. That's not a personal failure, that's math punching you in the face. Average personal debt sitting around $34,000 makes the whole bootstrap lecture feel especially unserious. So the debt strategy that stood out was the bachelorette payoff method. Pay minimums on everything, throw extra at the highest interest balance, then roll that payment into the next debt once one is gone. It's behavioral, simple, and way less chaotic than pretending you'll become a perfect monk overnight. And if overspending is the issue, put friction back in. Delete one-click pay, unfollow the people selling you a lifestyle, wait 48 to 72 hours before buying. If you still want it after 3 sleeps, fine. But a shocking number of purchases die when you deny them instant applause. For raises, the advice is blessedly unromantic. Keep a win folder, metrics, projects, compliments, problems you solved, money you saved, any actual evidence that you are not just spiritually valuable but materially useful. Then practice the conversation, and yes, using AI to roleplay a manager is kind of genius because most people freeze the second a real human says, "There's no budget right now." If the answer is no, get specific. Ask what would justify a raise, ask for non-monetary perks, and know your BATNA, because sometimes the leverage is not arguing harder, it's being willing to leave. Another sharp distinction in these topics is that criticizing public behavior is not the same thing as attacking somebody's identity. That sounds obvious, but apparently it needs to be said every 6 business days. People's expectations for celebrities have shifted, especially when communities are under threat. Audiences are less willing to accept a cute cultural brand from public figures who go suddenly vague when support might actually cost them something. And while we're here, celebrity advice like quit your job and follow your passion remains one of the most annoying genres on earth. That's easier to say when failure looks like a lifestyle adjustment and not eviction. Privilege does not become wisdom just because it was delivered on a panel. Spirit Airlines abruptly collapsing after 34 years, cutting 17,000 employees and cancelling flights, is one of those stories that sounds fake until you remember air travel has been held together by chewing gum and rage for years. The failed bailout and the failed merger angle make the whole thing feel even shakier. It's a reminder that the low-cost carrier model can be brutally fragile. And for travellers, this is the part nobody wants to hear. When a budget airline disappears, fares elsewhere don't usually get more fun, they get more expensive. That's the group chat for today. A little privacy panic, a little fake luxury, and some brutally useful money advice. Thanks for hanging out with Ladies Group Chat. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.